All right, what's good, YouTube? Just as promised, we're gonna hit you with the virtual world deck profile. So here we go. Main deck, we have 2 Nyan Nyan. Only 2 because I think that this card is basically belongs in the graveyard, and if you draw it, you have to draw your extenders. That's kind of like the interesting concept with virtual world, is all of your monsters except Nyan Nyan are basically extenders, and you just need to draw a starter. And your starters are any of your spells or any of your level 3s. So Nyan Nyan is essentially a starter, but later it's an extender when it hits the graveyard. Yeah, if you want a combo video, I don't feel like this deck really needs one, but yeah, if you struggle with counting your 3s, let me know. I just kidding. All right, we have triple Lulu. I don't like how everyone calls this the Rhoda of the deck, because this is the most complicated Rhoda I've ever played. But whatever. Triple GG. GG just kind of helps you recur your resources necessary to play 3. Honestly, you're just playing 3 of the rest of the virtual world monsters because they're extenders. They're just gas, and they really fuel your deck, which is awesome. Which is why the deck is so powerful. The deck just builds off of itself. Lala is the Monster Reborn. Again, a very complicated Monster Reborn, but one nonetheless. All right. Triple Lily. Yeah, this card's very good. It's another part that can be tricky with this deck is balancing the tuners and the non-tuners. So just remembering that you need non-tuners usually. So, and then remember that when you're making your synchros as well. Yeah, Lily's good. Nothing to say. This is pretty standard. Triple Kaloon, it searches these ones and just puts them straight on the field. Your other effects, you might resolve if you're lucky. You're probably already winning if you're doing that, so I wouldn't worry too much about the rest of the text on the card, other than the fact that it sets these directly from the deck. I'm sorry, it just puts them on the field. It doesn't even set them. Just straight up put them on the field. Super sweet. Quinlong, its banish effect is to search and then dump. Don't forget the dump. I sometimes do. Yeah, I'm a cheater. Oops. Just kidding. Triple Chuchi. This card's awesome. You usually always want to get one on the board and one in the graveyard. It manipulates levels when you banish it, and when it's on the field, it helps you recycle your resources, which is super good. So that's the virtual world lineup. Nothing special. I think the only subtle difference that I've noticed is the double Nyan Nyan instead of just playing 3. I don't like it at 3. It's a brick most of the time, so yeah. Triple Nibiru. We're just running a ton of hand traps. Triple Ash. These could be anything. Triple Veiler. Triple Imperm. I do like the idea of just main decking Ghost Ogre instead of Nibiru, just because it's a little bit more generic than Nibiru is. But we are in a combo format, so Nibiru does come up a lot. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. It's just an idea. The hand trap lineup has got to be very specific for wherever you're playing or whatever you're playing in. So remember that. And then the last kind of like filler cards are Triple Pot of Desires. You're playing 3 ofs. And it's like, they already want to ash everything in your deck, so why not play Desires and just get a free draw 2, or bait ash and then your combos are all going through. It's fantastic. Emergency Teleport is just like, that's kind of your third Nyan Nyan, right? That's why you don't need 3. This gets it. Or this is an extender. It's awesome. And then one Upstart, 39 card deck. Let's make this as consistent as possible. I have considered cutting some hand traps or cutting Upstart to play Foolish Burial Goods, just to give you one more option, or one more way to get to your plays. Nibiru token, because we need that sometimes. Whatever. Okay, and then here we go. Extra deck, we have one Chin Chin. This card's awesome. Sometimes just making Shen is game. So awesome card. Yeah, nothing else to say. And then we have one Cloud Castle. This enables your True King of All Calamities plays off of lots of things. You usually don't want to make this first turn. If you don't have to, you'd much rather just make another 9 and then make yours, and then save this for follow-up for other turns to make easy Calamities, if Calamity is the way you want to go. One Archosaur. This, I'm sorry. This is not Archosaur. This is the Crockett Dragon. This card's sweet. It's basically just a free draw. I honestly want to try and fit in a second one, just because if you do end up making more level 9s, this is a good 9 to go into. I did choose to play this 9 instead, just because it helps you, oops, bumped the camera, my bad. It just helps you break boards, which is like, going first, you either set up Shen or True King and have a ton of hand drops, right? And so like going second is kind of what we tuned the extra deck for, just to give us a lot of options to outboards, and the Dragon Mech lets us do that. Then one Stardust Charge Warrior, the gold rare, which is super sweet. I love it. I honestly wish my whole deck could be gold rares. Is that weird? Maybe. It just lets you draw a card, and it's a non-tuner, which is really important, because here is the tuner, which lets you draw a card if you synchro with it. So it's kind of worse, but it's a necessary evil, because sometimes you do need the tuner. That is relevant. Nothing else to say. It's also good for breaking boards going second. One Brio. Again, I just wanted to have options to break boards, and also this lets me discard cards, which is very important, because your traps and your spells can get clogged in your hand, and even your Nyan if you already normal summoned it. So yeah, and then we're just playing the one Zeus. We do have a lot of XZs, so this is free, and this card's awesome. So double True King. I don't know if you need 2, honestly. Like, you're making 1, and if they're adding that, like, then you're just kind of trying to OTK them, or like set up something nasty. And if True King isn't relevant, like, it's kind of just a dead card in your extra deck. So maybe another 9 over this, or honestly, I do want a second Stardust Charge, and I really want a second Shen, and I really want a second Croc. So I don't know. It's tough. I like it the way it is, but there's definitely a lot of flex spots. Like even Gaia, just to like overlay your 6s with, and you can even overlay your 3s if you Chuchi them, because Chuchi increases rank as well. This is really cool, and it makes yours going into Zeus better. So definitely a good little option. Piercing is relevant. Cards go in defense position so much, and that little bit of extra damage, very relevant. Here's my Spice is Jinzo Layered. This card is freaking awesome. You always are setting up Chuchi, and so the take and tribute and pop, that's 2 cards off of their board, and that's freaking awesome. Don't forget, you can't attack with the monster you take. I learned things the hard way. I get called out. It's fine. At least I learned. Yeah, so you just Jinzo layer them, and then you can go into Gaia. I mean, hopefully you clear that board, and then you go into Zeus, and you've got plenty of material under him. One Fan. This is probably another flex spot, because essentially it's got the same job as Jinzo, which is breaking boards. It's just sometimes the graveyard effect and banishing is more relevant than taking and popping. So Banish is strong, and yeah, it's a very cool card. One Phantom Knight Breaksword. This card's freaking awesome too, because sometimes your spells and traps get clogged on your board, right? Because like sometimes you have to start your turn with your Quinlong, right? And it's just chilling, and you're like, man, I wish this was in the graveyard. Boom, you pop something on their board, get this in the graveyard, and now you got the Banish for the searches. Super awesome. Love that card. And and then 1 Jaja. This is probably another flex spot. I just like the idea of having a way to get into Zeus off of your 3s. And like this is guaranteed unless they clear it other ways, like because it can make itself so that it can't die from battle. But yeah, so that's the deck. I freaking love it. This deck's so strong, and I am so glad that people are finally starting to realize how good this deck is. I can't believe it was so underhyped for release, and just, I mean, guys, did you read the synergy on these cards? They just set each other up. It's so insane. Like the follow-up, if you play it right, the follow-up is endless. And just the fact that sometimes you control people with this card and just drop all your virtual worlds from the deck for free. That's freaking sick. Anyways, that's the deck. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was kind of long, but yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know if you do want that combo video, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more content. I'm looking at making Tribrigades, zoo, and kind of exploring that idea. So yeah, let me know what you think. Peace.